stepped out to the field. Every path was lined with makeshift traps the farmers had set overnight, and they stood silently, worry reflected in their eyes. Wild boars were not only destroying crops, they were a constant threat to this entire area. Even with traps laid out, those cunning creatures always found ways to slip through and return to wreak havoc as if nothing could stop them. That was why we were called in, to stop the intruders before they struck again. This was not just a confrontation between humans and beasts, but a tense struggle between people and the untamed wilderness. As the sun climbed higher, our team prepared for the challenge ahead. The forest had been quiet, but suddenly the barking of hounds shattered the silence. The chase officially began. I moved with steady steps, every sense sharpened with each moment. Not long after, that dark figure was cornered by our seasoned hunting dogs. I kept my breathing calm, waiting for the perfect moment. No haste, no mistakes. When the time came, I gently pulled the trigger. The shot struck precisely where it needed to, and the creature fell instantly. That victory gave our entire team a renewed sense of strength. Soon after, another massive shadow appeared, weaving through dense bushes. I stopped at once, controlling my breathing. Each movement had to be careful and deliberate. Once I reached the right distance, I raised my rifle, aimed carefully, and fired. Two crisp sounds echoed through the forest, and the boar collapsed onto the bed of dry leaves. We continued deeper into the dense forest. Here, every faint sound and unusual scent could signal another target nearby. The distinctive musk of wild boars filled the air. I tightened my grip, ready for whatever might appear. From afar, a group of boars rushed toward us, fierce and wild. Gunshots rang out, roars followed, and each shot was firm and decisive. One by one they fell, and only then did I grasp how narrow the line between safety and danger truly was. A few minutes later, my loyal four-legged companion picked up a scent. Its bark grew urgent, echoing through the woods. The other hounds quickly joined in, surrounding the target with perfect coordination. Thanks to them, I completed the task cleanly and safely. In this dark forest, every shadow might hide danger. Without these faithful partners, tracking and staying safe would be nearly impossible.
I realized just how close I was to danger.
From a distance, Thomas signaled. Following the familiar barking, I spotted a large boar moving beneath the canopy. Everything seemed to slow down. I raised my rifle, aimed steadily, took a deep breath, and fired. The shot found its mark in an instant. The entire team nodded in satisfaction. Hours of intense pursuit passed. When the final sunlight faded, we hurried to leave the forest before darkness swallowed the paths. But just as the day seemed to be ending, a shadow moved ahead. The last one had not yet been found. The dog sprang forward, cutting off its escape. I quickly aimed, confirmed the position, and fired the final shot of the day. A sharp, clean sound echoed, marking the end of a dramatic journey into the wild. Today we completed our mission, but the struggle between humans and these invasive creatures continues. Thank you for accompanying us on this challenging journey. If this story stirred excitement and suspense in you, remember to hit like, subscribe, and share to support us on more thrilling expeditions ahead.
Locked. Closing.
Texas farmers were no strangers to wild hog damage, but in recent weeks, things had escalated far beyond anything they had ever seen. Calls poured into local authorities one after another. Wild hogs were showing up inside residential neighborhoods, overturning trash cans, injuring livestock, and roaming dangerously close to homes. This had never happened before. Usually, the hogs stayed on the outskirts, tearing up crops in rural areas and retreating back into the woods. But now, they were boldly pushing into populated areas as if nothing could stop them. The city had no choice but to act. A team of professional hunters was called in, and they quickly identified the rugged mountain forest surrounding the farmlands as the hogs' likely hiding place. The terrain was steep, full of tangled brush and narrow trails that could easily conceal an entire herd. Even so, the hunters carried a major advantage. A pack of seasoned tracking dogs trained specifically for hunts like this. As soon as they entered the woods, the first bark cut through the quiet morning air. The team immediately spread out, each hunter taking a designated ambush position. Minutes later, the first gunshots erupted. From different angles, the hunters dropped several hogs in quick succession. The The smell of gunpowder mixed with the sharp, echoing cries of wounded animals, rolling through the trees like waves. But that was only the beginning. The herd was far larger than anyone expected. Instead of fleeing in a single direction, the hogs scattered across the forest, turning the entire mountainside into a chaotic battlefield. Every pocket of brush seemed like a potential hiding spot, every shadow a place a hog could burst out from. While the team was sweeping through the area, a massive hog suddenly exploded out of a thicket. The moment unfolded too fast for most to react. Thankfully, the closest hunter kept his composure, raised his rifle, aimed and fired. The shot echoed through the woods as the animal stumbled and collapsed at their feet. That brief instant reminded the entire team just how dangerous these creatures had become. The rest of the herd continued to bolt in all directions. They tore up the ground, crushed brush under their hooves, and filled the air with dust and debris. But the dogs stayed on their trail, refusing to give up. Several hogs ran straight into blocked pathways and were quickly taken down. Every shot demanded precision, as the animals moved unpredictably and disappeared behind trees in the blink of an eye. No one had time to rest. Pausing for even a moment could mean losing the herd and leaving the community at risk again. When the dogs suddenly erupted into frantic barking, the hunters rushed toward the sound. Another huge hog charged at them with unbelievable force, but it fell within seconds. The team kept pushing forward, spotting new targets and dropping several more hogs as they tried to escape through narrow forest paths. By midday, the forest finally seemed quiet. Just when the hunters thought the chase was nearing its end, something unexpected happened. On their way back toward the trucks, a huge black-haired hog burst across the trail, cutting right in front of their vehicle. The team hit the brakes and reacted instantly. A hunter raised his rifle, took aim, and fired a clean, decisive shot. The animal collapsed, its body as bulky as a prehistoric beast. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the ridge, another group of teammates had run into a different herd. These hogs tried to slip between the trees, pushing each other aside in panic. From a higher vantage point, the hunters had a clear view. They aligned their scopes, squeezed the triggers, and watched one hog stagger and fall, followed by several more. Each shot was controlled, methodical, and precise. The gunshot had barely faded when the hounds began howling again, signaling another target down in the valley. The hunting team immediately rushed toward the sound, sliding over the layer of dry leaves. At the base of the hill, another group of wild boars was trying to slip into the low brush. We moved into better positions, waited for the moment they exposed themselves, and then squeezed the triggers together, taking down a few more before they could scatter. Today's video comes to an end here. Thanks for sticking with us until the final moments. What do you think about this intense hunt? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next heart-pounding adventures.
On the snowy mountain peaks, where the cold can freeze anything in its path, wild boars still survive thanks to their thick fur and protective fat layers. Despite the biting wind and bone-chilling temperatures, they rush down to the farmlands, causing severe destruction during the harsh winter. They flip soil and rocks, tear apart crop rows, and even threaten local farmers. Unable to stand by and watch their homeland being ravaged, brave hunters step into the frozen wilderness to protect the people. Can they overcome the brutal weather and face these powerful animals? The journey ahead will reveal everything. We moved along the western hillside, where the snow had begun to melt into streaks on the cold rocks. This was the area predicted to show signs of wild boars. John released the hunting dogs, directing them toward the lone boars that caused the most damage to farms. It didn't take long before the dogs barked furiously. They pushed the first target toward me. As it charged, I calmly raised my rifle and fired a precise shot. The creature staggered, easily weighing over 200 kilograms. A major threat had been dealt with, and our first victory was secured. We continued higher up the slope. In areas where the snow still covered the ground, our team worked to block the herd before warmer weather encouraged them to roam further. From a distance on the snowy ridges, small groups of boars appeared one after another. We quickly deployed our strategy, focusing first on the solitary ones. At more than 300 m away, John gently pulled the trigger. The blast echoed across the snowy mountains, and the target collapsed instantly. The remaining boars, near and far, were swiftly tracked by the marksmen in our team. Strict discipline, years of experience, and perfect teamwork helped us prevent a potential wave of devastation. Do not be fooled into thinking everything was easy. John's long-range shots came from countless hours of training and unwavering discipline. Throughout the pursuit, binoculars served as our second pair of eyes, capturing every subtle movement on the snow. Dark silhouettes gradually emerged on the white backdrop. Locking onto distant targets required more than accuracy, it demanded calculation of distance, wind, and bullet trajectory. Each silhouette that fell represented not only a victory, but also a promise of a protected harvest season. Meanwhile, on the western slope, Nick spotted a group of wild boars basking on an open patch of snow. A gunshot rang out, and he immediately chased after the fleeing animals. Yet no matter how hard he tried, their incredible speed left him behind. He pulled out his iPhone 16 to signal the team. Within minutes, the group arrived and surrounded the area. No wild boar could slip away. If this part excites you, remember to like and share. It motivates us to bring even more spectacular encounters. The pursuit continued relentlessly. Fresh tracks on the snow led Nick and me to a massive wild boar. The moment we faced it, I knew the weapon in my hands was more than equipment. It was a sharp warning, a decisive end to the chaos these animals had caused for so long. As darkness settled in, we decided to sweep the area one last time before heading home. Any remaining animals were handled swiftly. The mountains became peaceful again, and the locals could rest easier knowing their land was safer this winter. The winter operation ended. Everything was carried out in compliance with United States hunting laws. The trophies piled high on the Toyota Land Cruiser represented not only hard work and effort, but also a sacred responsibility, protecting the crops and the people of this land.
Meanwhile, on the eastern hillside,
Suốt 3 ngày liền, khu rừng vẫn im ắng đến rợn người. Không một dấu vết, chẳng một âm thanh, chỉ còn cái lạnh len lỏi trong từng bước chân và cảm giác ngờ vực bao trùm. Thế nhưng hôm nay, khi ánh nắng đầu tiên vừa hé lộ sau rặng cây, tôi biết thời khắc quan trọng đã đến. Theo kinh nghiệm nhiều năm săn lùng trong rừng sâu, đây chính là lúc lũ lợn rừng bắt đầu rời khỏi nơi trú ẩn. Chúng tôi lập tức điều chỉnh chiến thuật, đặt toàn bộ hy vọng vào điểm phục kích cuối cùng. Cơ hội vẫn còn đó, chỉ không biết thiên nhiên sẽ đứng về phía ai. Đừng rời mắt, cuộc săn căng thẳng chỉ mới bắt đầu. Trang bị đầy đủ vũ khí chuyên dụng cùng thiết bị hiện đại, chúng tôi tiến thẳng đến vị trí được phân công. Sau bao ngày chờ đợi, cuối cùng đàn lợn rừng cũng xuất hiện. Chúng tôi nhanh chóng điều chỉnh ống ngắm, bám sát từng chuyển động của chúng. Phát súng đầu tiên vang lên đầy uy lực, khiến con đầu đàn gục xuống. Những con còn lại hoảng loạn tản ra, nhưng các xạ thủ khác đã chuẩn bị sẵn. Tín hiệu được truyền đi trong nháy mắt. Từng vị trí phối hợp nhịp nhàng, chặn đứng mọi hướng thoát. Cuộc chạm trán này không chỉ kiểm nghiệm sự kiên nhẫn và chiến thuật, mà còn chứng minh sự ăn ý hiếm có của cả đội, một sự hòa hợp giữa kinh nghiệm, quyết đoán và cả chút may mắn trời cho. Tiếp nối cuộc rượt đuổi, chúng tôi tiến lên vùng đất cao hơn, mở rộng tầm nhìn xuống chân đồi. Những bóng đen quen thuộc lướt qua tầm mắt, nhanh và sắc như những cái bóng. Viên đạn đầu tiên vang lên, nhưng khoảng cách xa khiến việc hạ mục tiêu gọn gàng trở nên khó khăn. Dù tầm nhìn đã rõ hơn, những hình thù đen kịt đó vẫn cứ thoắt ẩn thoắt hiện, để lại sự tiếc nuối khiến bầu không khí càng thêm căng thẳng. Trước áp lực đó, Nip lập tức hành động. Anh đưa một người quan sát lên vị trí cao hơn để theo dõi hướng di chuyển của đàn lợn rừng, rồi truyền tín hiệu cho đội bên dưới tấn công chớp nhoáng. Khi kế hoạch triển khai, từng con lợn rừng xuất hiện đều bị bao vây chỉ sau vài giây. Không còn đường thoát cho chúng. Sau chuỗi thời gian căng thẳng không ngừng nghỉ, chúng tôi cuối cùng cũng giành lại khu vực này khỏi sự đe dọa của bầy thú. Một tiếng nổ mạnh vang lên, khiến đàn chó săn giật mình tháo chạy xuống sườn đồi, nấp sâu vào những bụi rậm. Đội của Kevin được giao nhiệm vụ kiểm soát khu vực ấy. Sau nhiều giờ truy đuổi ráo riết, từng mục tiêu lần lượt bị khống chế, mang lại sự yên bình cho vùng đồi. Trong khi Kevin chiến đấu quyết liệt, đàn chó săn vẫn không bỏ lỡ nhịp nào. Chúng đánh hơi cực kỳ nhanh và lao về phía trước. Nhìn cách chúng làm việc, tôi thấy rõ kinh nghiệm nhiều năm của chúng, vừa dẫn đường vừa dồn con mồi về khoảng trống hoàn hảo. Nhờ sự hỗ trợ đó, phát bắn của tôi trúng đích kịp lúc, ngăn mục tiêu kịp trốn thoát. Một mối đe dọa nữa được loại bỏ, mang thêm phần an tâm cho người dân địa phương. Ở sườn đồi phía đông, đội của Nick phải đối mặt với một cuộc rượt đuổi đầy áp lực. Sau những phút giây căng thẳng tột độ, Nick cuối cùng cũng chặn được đàn lợn rừng đúng như dự tính. Anh tận dụng tối đa mọi kỹ năng để siết chặt vòng vây, không cho bất kỳ con nào cơ hội thoát khỏi tầm kiểm soát. Một loạt đạn chính xác đã kết thúc cuộc truy đuổi kịch tính đó. Khi ánh chiều tà dần buông, bóng tối len lỏi khắp khu rừng, những mục tiêu cuối cùng bất ngờ xuất hiện. Chỉ trong vài phút ngắn ngủi trước khi màn đêm phủ xuống, không một con nào thoát khỏi những phát bắn chuẩn xác và dứt khoát của các xạ thủ. Cuối cùng, người dân địa phương cũng có thể thở phào nhẹ nhõm, không còn nơm nớp lo sợ trước những đàn lợn rừng hung hãn nữa. Video đến đây là kết thúc rồi. Nếu chuyến đi săn hôm nay khiến bạn hồi hộp hay phấn khích, đừng quên để lại bình luận để chúng tôi biết cảm nhận của bạn nhé. Nhớ like, share và subscribe để ủng hộ kênh và đón xem thêm nhiều hành trình săn rừng đầy kịch tính khác. Hẹn gặp lại bạn trong những video tiếp theo.
once an oasis of tranquility, is now engulfed in chaos as wild boars proliferate throughout the region. Few can imagine the extent of destruction they cause. In just one night, the wheat fields and olive groves were torn apart, leaving behind fear and disappointment. The peacefulness of the village is now under threat, and we know that it's time to act and chase these invaders away to protect our beloved homeland. As dawn breaks, our team gathers at Nick's house. The rifles have been checked, scopes calibrated, and spare ammo is ready. We are prepared for the mission ahead. By 6:30, we enter the orange grove, observing the terrain and finalizing our movement plan. Before I could finish speaking, dark shapes darted across the field.
Officially begun.
Immediately, everyone took position, eyes focused, hearts pounding. The entire boar herd charged into the underbrush. I aimed and fired. A perfect shot. The boar fell. The first success of the day, and the crops behind us are now safe. The hunt has begun.
A few lucky boars break free.
Few boars managed to escape the first volley, running towards a narrow trail in the woods. From above, the drone spotted them sneaking through the brush. The hunting dogs closed in, driving them into a tight spot. My scope locked on. One decisive shot, and the boar fell. The teamwork between the people and the dogs delivered a flawless result, precise, effective, just as planned. Not far off, Nick noticed another boar near the trail. The boar dashed towards him, sensing his presence and becoming aggressive, ready to charge. But it was too late. Nick took aim, whispered, "It's time for you to face the end," and fired. A clean, decisive shot. The beast collapsed. I breathed a sigh of relief, watching him complete the task, restoring peace to the land once again. What do you think about that moment? Share your thoughts below. As we moved to another location, the rustling in the underbrush caught our attention. Years of experience, and the barking signal told me the target was near. I took my position and waited. As expected, the wild boar lunged from its hiding spot. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle, aimed carefully, and fired. The bullet struck its side, but it managed to run down the slope. A few minutes later, we found it lying by a field. These are the moments that test a hunter's courage and skill. And today, we once again proved that courage and precision can restore peace to this land. As the sun set, we received a call from the farmer. The wild boars had returned. We turned the truck around and rushed back to the orange grove, more determined than ever. The team spread out, tightening the encirclement. The herd charged toward Jay's ambush point. A massive boar came rushing toward us. John aimed perfectly and fired. A flawless shot. The boar dropped right on the spot. From now on, these fields will rest. No more failed crops. No more sleepless nights for the villagers. Every shot we take is a promise. Trade the rifle for peace. The confrontation ended, and the countryside could breathe in the fresh air.
Teamwork between man and dog pays off.
We returned in the 2025 Ford Ranger, the truck bed loaded with wild boars, and our hearts heavy but filled with joy knowing we had protected the community. That's the end of the video. If today's hunt got your heart racing, leave a comment to let us know how you felt. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and watch more thrilling wilderness hunts. See you in the next video. After countless difficult ground hunts, the team of hunters finally realized one thing. Tracking feral hogs from the ground wasn't just exhausting, it was dangerous. These animals could be standing only a few meters away, yet in the blink of an eye, they would slip into the thick brush and vanish completely. Dense vegetation worked as the perfect shield, making it nearly impossible to predict their escape direction. That frustration pushed the hunters toward a bold and unconventional idea, taking the fight into the air. Across the United States, feral hogs aren't just pests. Their explosive reproduction rate allows their numbers to skyrocket within just a few seasons. A single sow can produce more than a dozen piglets per year, and as these herds grow, they destroy farmland, erode soil, and damage the local ecosystem. The annual agricultural losses caused by them reach into the billions. Controlling their population isn't optional anymore. It has become a responsibility that must be taken seriously. That's when the team decided to adopt a new strategy, using a helicopter to pursue them. The Robinson R-44 Raven was prepared meticulously, paired with a Wedgetail Industries WT-25 chambered in .308 Winchester, well known for its stability and stopping power. After all equipment was checked, the helicopter lifted off, heading toward the open plains and farmlands bordering the forest, where fresh hog activity had been reported. From above, everything became dramatically easier to see. Torn up soil, trampled underbrush, and deep tracks carved into the earth formed clear trails pointing toward the hogs. It wasn't long before the hunters spotted the first targets. On a sunlit patch of ground, several mature hogs wandered, searching for food. Their dark, heavy bodies contrasted sharply with the field, making them visible from far away. The pilot, a veteran of many similar missions, adjusted altitude and stabilized the aircraft, giving the shooter the perfect angle. When the moment was right, the hunter raised his rifle, locked onto his target, and squeezed the trigger. The shot rang out crisp and clean, and the hog collapsed instantly, The roar of the helicopter sent the rest of the animals into panic. They bolted toward patches of brush, unknowingly exposing themselves even more. The helicopter banked and circled back, giving the team a new angle of attack. Within seconds, a herd of more than 10 hogs emerged into view. They moved incredibly fast, speeds comparable to a slow-moving vehicle, but none of that mattered against the aerial advantage. Shot after shot, hogs dropped while trying desperately to flee. Others rushed into denser vegetation, but their frantic movements only made them easier to track. In this chase, the hogs simply couldn't outrun the helicopter. As the pursuit continued, the team ran into a new problem. The hogs were adapting. The sound of the rotor seemed to make them warier. Instead of running in straight lines, they changed direction constantly, slipping behind bushes and using uneven terrain for cover. Finding them became more challenging, and the hunters had to stay sharp. The pilot swept the helicopter low along the forest edge. As the aircraft skimmed the treetops, many hogs dove into heavy cover, making it difficult to keep them in sight. But with skilled maneuvering, the pilot changed altitude and widened the search pattern. From that higher angle, the team spotted an even larger herd, more than 10 hogs, clustered near moist, freshly dug soil.
Balance.
The shooter picked out the biggest one in the group. He steadied his breathing, braced the rifle, and pulled the trigger. The hog collapsed immediately. The rest scattered in panic, but the helicopter quickly closed in. Within minutes, the herd was thinned out, each hog falling as it tried to disappear into the brush. The hunt continued, and when they neared the main fields again, another large herd came into view. This group was powerful, fast, and tightly packed. They sprinted frantically the moment they heard the helicopter, but there was nowhere for them to hide. The aircraft swooped in from the side, offering the shooter clear angles. One hog dropped, then another, then another. The chaos overwhelmed the remaining animals, slowing their reactions and exposing them even more. As the dust finally settled, the fields were dotted with hogs weighing anywhere from 80 to over 100 kilograms. After hours of continuous pursuit, the team had eliminated around 50. It wasn't enough to change the nationwide situation. Millions of feral hogs still roam across the country, but it brought relief to local farmers and slowed the destruction in the region. Each hunt like this helps safeguard the land and gives people hope that they can reclaim control. Do you you think helicopter hog hunting is the most effective solution today? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another action-packed adventure.
Early in the morning on the outskirts of Oklahoma, the alarm bells of a western ranch rang intensely. A herd of wild boars had broken through the fence, ravaged the young cornfields, and rushed deep into the forest. There was no time to hesitate. The hunting team immediately set out in a Ram 1500 TRX, heading north under the captain's orders. They quickly split into smaller units, following the main trail. From that moment, the pursuit officially began. Every movement had to be fast, precise, and fully controlled. Not a single animal was allowed to return to the fields. Just a few minutes after entering the forest edge, the hunting dogs barked sharply. A mature wild boar suddenly burst through the tall grass toward the hillside. I quickly followed it to a small lake, adjusting my aim. The target moved constantly, forcing me to act quickly. A warning shot echoed. The next shot hit the mark, causing the boar to fall instantly. The team quickly secured the area before advancing deeper. The previous gunshot had startled the rest of the herd. From within the woods, several dark shapes dashed away almost simultaneously. The captain immediately adjusted the strategy. One shooter circled to the right while the central group held their position. The following shots were released with control, striking the boars attempting to escape through the dense bushes. We kept a steady pace while remaining cautious to avoid loud noises that could alert distant groups. The scouts sent a signal via iPhone 17 Pro Max, reporting new tracks. Through the headset, the captain whispered, "Only shoot when you have a clear line of sight." The first shot from the shooter beside me hit the lead boar, causing the area to fall silent for a few seconds. No one in the team relaxed. We stayed in position, listening to movement signals. A few minutes later, the device indicated another boar circling west. I immediately shifted direction, running along a narrow dirt path toward a dry bush. There, its shadow appeared, smaller than expected, moving just over 10 meters away. A crisp gunshot rang out. The bullet hit accurately, completely disabling the target. I approached to confirm, and there was no resistance left. The giant boar had been handled safely, preventing damage to the nearby farmland. After that, I returned to the team and moved toward an open area between two forests. There, a dark figure was sprinting rapidly in search of food. To prevent it from reaching the cornfield ahead, the captain signaled to fire. We advanced from the downwind side, avoiding any scent reaching the boar. When it lifted its head, a precise shot was taken, quickly securing the target. Another threat was resolved smoothly. Fatigue began to set in after hours of pursuit, and the captain decided to withdraw. But on the way out, a lone boar suddenly appeared near a barren patch of land. It moved slowly but was extremely cautious, requiring a delicate approach. The captain chose a safe tactic: keep distance and use a long-range scope. Once everything was under control, a clean shot concluded the morning hunt. Before leaving the area, the entire team performed a final inspection. No signs of intrusion remained. The hunt was completed perfectly, safely, and in full compliance with U.S. hunting regulations. Today's trip was not just a hunting journey. It was a mission to protect crops and safeguard the ranch, an important responsibility entrusted to us by the local community. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like the video, share it with friends, and subscribe to the channel to follow more thrilling forest hunts. See you in the next adventures.